you ever noticed that the more you ask for attention, respect, or to be treated with care, the less of it you seem to receive? There's a reason for that, and it's not that you're asking for too much. It's that asking in itself communicates something about how you see your own position. The secret to being treated like a queen has nothing to do with the conversations you initiate or the standards you announce out loud. It has everything to do with your frequency, the energy you carry, the way you move through your own life, and most importantly, what you silently demonstrate you are and are not willing to accept. Men do not treat women according to what those women request. They treat women according to what those women consistently allow. The moment you stop negotiating for your worth and start embodying it so completely that there's nothing left to negotiate, everything around you, including him, reorganizes itself accordingly. Today, I'm going to show you how to activate the subconscious respect trigger and become the absolute priority in his life without saying a single word. Respect is not requested. It is commanded quietly through the life you build and the standards you refuse to compromise. If you're ready to step fully into your power and master the art of feminine energy, subscribe to Female Magnetism and hit the notification bell. Now let's get into the pillars. Pillar number 1. The standard of self-care. Everything begins here because this is where the signal originates. How you treat yourself is the loudest and most consistent message you send to everyone around you about how you expect to be treated. Not the loudest verbally, but the loudest energetically. And that frequency is read by the people in your life, whether they're conscious of reading it or not. When a man observes that you genuinely prioritize yourself, that you protect your time, that you take your health seriously, that you invest in your appearance, not for anyone else's approval, but as a natural expression of the respect you carry for your own body and life, he receives a very specific message. This woman has standards. Not standards she lists or argues for, but standards she lives. And that observation creates a psychological effect that no conversation about expectations ever could. The inverse is equally true and equally powerful. When you consistently deprioritize yourself, when you cancel your plans for him without hesitation, when you let your own needs go unmet to accommodate his comfort, when you treat your time as though it has no particular value, you are teaching him how to treat you through demonstration, not through words, but through the evidence of your daily choices. Self-care in this context is not about surface-level aesthetics, though those matter. It is about the deeper message that your choices send, that you are a woman who takes herself seriously, and that to be part of your life, a man needs to operate at a level that is consistent with that seriousness. Pillar number 2, the art of the no. A queen is not defined by the things she accepts. She is defined just as powerfully by the things she declines. And this is one of the most misunderstood dynamics in relationships. Many women operate from the belief that being agreeable, being available, saying yes as often as possible will make them more valued and more loved. But the psychological reality is the opposite. When your yes is guaranteed, when your time is always available, when you accommodate every request without hesitation, your yes loses its meaning entirely. It becomes the expected default rather than a genuine gift. But when your yes is selective, when the person you're with understands that your time and energy have real weight and are not automatically given, your yes becomes something worth earning. Your no is what gives your yes its value. This doesn't mean being difficult, cold, or withholding for its own sake. It means being honest. It means saying no when something genuinely doesn't work for you, doesn't align with your values, or doesn't meet the standard you've set for how you want your time to be spent. A woman who can say no calmly, without apology, without excessive explanation, and without anxiety about the consequences, communicates a level of self-possession that is deeply compelling. She doesn't need the yes to be accepted. She is fine either way. And that quality, that genuine okayness with either outcome, is one of the most magnetic things a woman can embody. Pillar number 3, the mirror effect. This principle operates through the mechanics of social and psychological mirroring, and it is both subtle and extraordinarily effective. The way you treat yourself in front of him, the way you speak about yourself, the way you carry yourself in shared spaces becomes the template he unconsciously uses to calibrate how he treats you. If you speak about yourself with respect and quiet confidence, his internal reference for how to engage with you adjusts accordingly. If you accept certain kinds of treatment without reaction, his internal reference adjusts in that direction instead. You are always, whether you intend to be or not, teaching him what the standard is. This means that how you respond to his behavior matters enormously, not through lectures or requests, but through your natural reactions. When he treats you well, your warmth and genuine engagement communicate that this is the frequency that works. When he falls short of the standard, your natural withdrawal of that warmth, not punitive, not dramatic, but honest and proportional, communicates the same. He learns through direct experience rather than instruction. And the woman who teaches through experience rather than explanation is far more effective and far more respected than the one who explains what she deserves while accepting something less. Pillar number 4, emotional detachment. Of the 4 pillars, this is the one that requires the most internal work, and it is the one that produces the most powerful results. Emotional detachment, in this context, does not mean being cold or unfeeling. It means being genuinely unattached to any particular outcome, including the outcome of whether he stays. It means being willing, truly willing, not as a performance, but as a reality, to walk away if the standard of treatment is not met. And the reason this is so magnetic is because it is the one quality that cannot be faked over time. He will feel whether it is real. When a man senses that you need him, that your emotional stability depends on his presence, that you would stay regardless of how he treats you, because the alternative is too frightening to consider, your value in his psychology shifts. Not because he is consciously calculating this, but because the human mind assigns less urgency to what is guaranteed. But when he senses through the quiet confidence of your daily behavior that you genuinely love your own life and could continue living it fully without him in it, the dynamic changes entirely. The possibility of losing you becomes real. And the fear of losing something real is one of the most powerful motivators in human psychology. It does not make him love you through fear. It makes him treat you with care because he understands, without being told, that care is the price of your continued presence. You do not need a manual to teach him how to love you. You need a standard so clear, so consistently lived, that falling below it simply isn't something that fits into the life you're building. The treatment you receive is always, in the end, a direct reflection of the value you assign to yourself through your actions, your choices, and the things you are and are not willing to accept. Not the value you claim in conversation, but the value you demonstrate through the way you live. Comment, "I am the queen of my life," below if you've decided to stop waiting for permission to occupy your throne and start living at the standard you actually deserve. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to maintain that standard over the long term, through the tests, the pressures, and the moments when it's hardest to hold the line. See you there.